Hello. Please enjoy this collection of segments from the Ferret 64 podcast where I show off my backlog all throughout 2025 from January to December. Please enjoy. To start things off, a coworker of mine, he stopped at a GameStop that was closing, and they were selling these like pin sets for like a couple bucks, and he picked one up for me. So I got the Happy Holidays Mario and Friends pin set. There's a Mario, a Luigi, a Toad, a Peach, and a Yoshi, all in Snowman or Snowwoman form. So that was pretty nice of them, so thank you for that. Love that. Also, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I won a contest on Twitter, and it was for the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection coming out. Now, I didn't win the game, but I did win some cool stuff. First up is a 1 in 5,000 Golden Gaia, the Fierce Knight cards, 24 karat gold plated card. I'm probably not going to be opening this because, you know, collector in me. But yeah, won that. And then I also won a plushie for the Time Wizard. Time Wizard. I can't really do a good Joey right now, but the Time Wizard, Yug. So, yeah, this is one of Joey's famous cards, gifted to him by Yugi at the beginning of the anime, but I love this little plush guy. He'll probably be hanging in the background for some time once I get this section all wrapped up here. Let's jump into the games that I picked up this past week. So I have a couple of new things. I have a couple of sales that I purchased things from, and I got a good mix here. So let's just get started with the PS1 games. The first thing I picked up was an imported version of Crash Bandicoot from Japan. This was about $12 on eBay, and I thought that was a pretty nice steal. American copies of this game go for about $60 to $70 now, which is kind of crazy in my mind. But there it is. There's the old Crashy Boo looking at Tawana. Yeah, I thought that would be a nice little addition to the collection. You know, just the Japanese writings on the side there too, just to kind of have. Plus, I think my copy of Crash Bandicoot that I have is scratched and it won't play. Well, or it will play, but it won't like play levels. So it is nice to have this just in case I need to use it. But yeah, it was kind of mind-boggling to me when I looked online. The disc itself was like $50 to $60, and I was like, whoa. So I decided to pick up this version of the game because I thought it was just kind of cool. I also picked up some other PS1 games, including 007 Racing. Whoa. I don't know anything about this other than it's James Bond. And apparently you race in it. But there's that. And then also a game that was recommended to me by a streamer that I watch, NASCAR Rumble. This is a NASCAR branded arcade racing experience. And I thought, you know, it's only like $10. Might as well pick it up on eBay. You know? So I thought that looked kind of cool. I looked at some gameplay. I thought it might be kind of fun to stream one day. We'll see. Okay, so I have a couple of PSP games here as well. First up is a sealed copy of Exit Speed Strategy Survival. So this was another one that was a pretty cheap PSP game, sealed. It was like $10. This is coming from Ubisoft, which is kind of interesting. This is like a side-scrolling tactics game. Not tactics, but like tactical espionage game, I guess you could say. Kind of reminded me of like maybe a 2D Metal Gear Solid, so might check that out. And then I also picked up Dynasty Warriors on the PSP as well. I don't know how similar it is to the console version, but I'm sure it's right there. I'm sure it's pretty similar. So there you go. Next up, I have a PS3 game. And actually, this game had its 10th or 15th anniversary recently, but that is MAG. I used to own this on the PS3, and I have, you know, like I said last year, I am kind of going through and trying to get back some of those games in my collection that I probably shouldn't have sold, or maybe I sold and I didn't. I mean, I don't regret selling Mag. It's an online multiplayer game that doesn't have a single player, but this was a game changer back in the day because it was like 256 players were able to battle each other, and that was crazy. It was a crazy time. I don't think I played a lot of it, but I played enough to be like, yeah, that was pretty cool. So there's that. Probably should have shown this one off first. Need for Speed Underground on the PS2. Need for Speed Underground on the PS2. Picked that up recently. Not too shabby. Looked pretty good. Obviously, the underground games are very popular. This one and Need for Speed Underground 2 are two of people's favorite Need for Speed games. All right, we picked up Donkey Kong Country Returns, as you may know. Last episode I talked about this a lot, so if you want to check that out, just go back to that episode. But I like the inside of the box is the map that you travel on. Oh yeah, a lot of times I don't have my Switch games inside the Switch boxes because I have a Switch game holder. Decided to keep it in this one. I don't know if I'll be booting this one back up anytime soon, but Donkey Kong Country Returns. All right, here are two things that I got on sale on Amazon that was a bit. It was just I couldn't pass it up, even though I don't. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, Worms Armageddon Anniversary Edition. This is a big box. So this was $20, and the other thing that I got was also $20. I thought that was a pretty good deal for some cool stuff inside this box. We got. Oh man, the picture is so small. There's a pin set, some posters, a Worms guide, and a coin, a metal coin. Kind of hard to see there. But yeah, Worms Armageddon Anniversary Edition. And then also in the same sale, I picked up Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly, and this is like the deluxe edition or whatever. I don't think it really comes with too much crazy. I don't really see anything in on the box to tell me what's inside of it, but yeah, I just decided to pick that up as well. All right, I have two VR games here for the PSVR 1. I have been thinking of trying to collect as many physical PSVR games as I can because they actually got there was actually quite a few that got physical editions. One of them being Battlezone on the PSVR 2. This is the European version, but it doesn't really matter. The consoles aren't region locked, so if you don't know this Battlezone game, I own this on Steam, and I played a bit of it on Steam. It's a very fun game. It essentially takes that old concept of like the wireframe Battlezone games and just kind of brings it into the, this century. And then I also picked up Iron Man VR, the game. Once again, I own this digitally. I believe PS Plus gave it away for free at one point. Not much on the box or anything like that, but I do like the inside with the Iron Man heart there. So, cool beans, cool beans. This was actually my most recent pickup, actually. This is Shadows Over Loathing. I bought this probably 4 or 5 months ago now, and it was on sale, physical edition. And I was like, I gotta pick that up. I've been waiting to try this game out because I really like the West of Loathing and the Kingdom of Loathing, which is a online experience, was also very fun. So Shadows Over Loathing, still sealed, of course. Some new pickups here. We got Sniper Elite Resistance. This game is in my PlayStation right now. I'm almost done with it. I'm going to be talking about it today. Not much special on the inside there. This is also available on Game Pass if you want to check it out there. But there you go, Sniper Elite Resistance and Dynasty Warriors Origins. I've talked about this game twice on the podcast now, so if you want to check out the kind of mini review and full review, you can check that out on the podcast. And here are just some games that I wanted to add to my collection. Dragon Age The Veilguard. This came out last year, and this was only $20 on Amazon, I said, or $25 on Amazon, free shipping, and I said, all right. I know that the reviews aren't stellar for this, but I mean, you never know. They could have updated by the time I play this. They could have updated, or maybe people were exaggerating. I don't know. It's hard to say at times. I also got Neon White physically. I own this digitally on 2 different storefronts now, but I decided to buy this physically because I'm trying to keep physical games alive. Whether it's just me and a few other people buying physical games, I'm trying to do it. Plus, it was one of my favorite games that year that it came out, so I felt like, yeah, I should probably, get this physical edition. It was on sale too for like $20, so I decided to pick that up. And then this is a bit of a weird one. This is Destruction All Stars. The disc is loose in there, which I despise because this is one of those games that I don't want to open. This game had a very limited physical run back in the day because it was released on PlayStation Plus. This was like a day one PS5 PlayStation Plus game, and they were not originally going to do a physical edition for it, but they decided to print some physical versions of the game. So I wanted to pick this up. It just sucks that the disc is loose in there because I really don't want to open this because it is going to be a collector's. It's going to be it's going to be a nice collectible or a nice addition to the collection. All right, I have one more stack of games here, and I'll explain about that just in a moment. So I was in my basement, and I found a bunch of games that should have been added to my collection when I was gifted. We were gifted a Wii like a couple years ago, and these games have been in my basement for a while. So I'm going to show them off now because I found them all. First up, you got to get Wii Sports in there. Disc is a little is a bit in rough shape. Obviously, this is not the best way to store them. There is a case version of Wii Sports, so I might pick that up because this disc is pretty rough, but, what are you going to do? Second up, Super Mario Galaxy 2. This was in the collection downstairs. I totally forgot about these freaking games. It's complete in box, has the manual, has the Nintendo Club pamphlet. This manual is pretty beefy, I will say. It's a very beefy manual, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. But it's missing one of the clips for the paper. So, that's unfortunate, but in good shape. Good find. Also, Wii Music. Woo! Wii Music. This might be like a birthday stream kind of game. I like to do some of the wacky, weird ones. When I was a kid, I always wanted Wii Music, but I never got it. Now I know, it's kind of known as one of the worst Wii games, but I figure, add it to my backlog. It was in this pile of games, might as well. This is also a game from my childhood that I used to play a lot. This is Battalion Wars 2. I remember that the Christmas that this came out during, it came out before this Christmas, but this was the only thing I had on my list. I said I want Battalion Wars 2 because I loved Battalion Wars 1 when I was a kid, and this game was on the Wii, and I said, yeah, hell yeah, that's all I want. So I opened this up on Christmas morning, and I played it all, as much as I could on Christmas Day. But I have very good memories of that. Also, we have 2 Wario games. We have Wario Land Shake It, which is already on my backlog because I believe this game was put with this stack of games after I had bought it. But obviously, I did not remember that I did that. But here you are, Wario Land Shake It. Also, WarioWare Smooth Moves, another game that's already on my backlog list, but once again was probably put with those other games. This one is missing the manuals, which is unfortunate, but Smooth Moves has and probably will be the best WarioWare game of all time. There's not really much else you can say about that. This is another game that I had when I was a kid, Rayman Raving Rabbids. Very fun little adventure game. This is also where the rabbits' love was in full swing, because after this, I think there was a couple minigame collections and stuff like that came out. And then, of course, Rayman was not seen again until the latest Sparks of Hope, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope DLC. Namco Museum Remix. This is a remixed version of some classic games. And of course, you can play this with a classic controller or a Wiimote if you need to. But just kind of a cool one there. So, oh gosh, Yemmy, what happened here? I have 2 copies of Excitebike. One I've had for a while. The other one I bought recently, actually, because I didn't remember that I had this copy of Excitebike. I'm not Excitebike, Excite Truck. I apologize. Did I say Excitebike before? Excite Truck. So I have 2 copies of Excite Truck. I'm pretty sure they both have the manual. So I didn't even you know, didn't even get that. But yeah. Oh, actually, this one has a different manual in it. Unless that's like the front page was ripped off. Okay, so something different at least. But yeah, I have 2 copies of Excite Truck. Excite Truck. Speaking of racing games, Mario Kart Wii. A lot of people really love Mario Kart Wii. I mean, I've obviously know why. The game is probably in the Wii that I got from this person. But there you go, Mario Kart Wii. And finally, I don't even know what this is. Game Party. Woo! What a explosive one to end this segment on, huh? Game Party, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa! Now that's epic. So yeah, that's that. I already showed off Wii Sports. Yeah, it was kind of crazy going to my basement and being like, what the hell? Where did all this come from, right? And well, now we know. It came from the basement. All right, we're going to start off with the 2 games that I had physically that we finished on stream this past month, even though I finished a couple more. These are the only ones that I had physically. First up, Pokemon Sword. We finished this on stream, which I already talked about. Inside is nothing to gawk at, but I enjoyed my time with this. I thought it was pretty fun. So what more can you want? And then also, probably a game I'll be talking about today, Blaze Angels 2, Secret Missions of World War II. I bought this so long ago. I think it was at like a GameStop, back when I used to go to GameStop. But this is on the Xbox 360. And this was also a pretty fun game. And I'll talk about that later. Here are the new games that I picked up this past month. We picked up, of course, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection. I was very, very, very excited for this. I'll be talking about it in a little bit, but yeah, it's one of those things that I've been waiting for so long. The game is in my Switch, so that's why it's not there. But I did get the one of the 2 variants of Harpy's Feather Duster. I believe it's the newer variant, so it's not as cool, but it's still cool. Cool that you get a card with it, but yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection. I'm glad that I picked this up physically. Also, this game is in my PS5 right now. I got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, as you already know if you've been listening to the podcast. Nothing new there. And like I said, the disc is in my PlayStation right now. It won't be there for too much longer because we're going to talk about the final thoughts for this game today. Another game that I picked up is Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I've been excited about this game, but I have not booted it up fully yet. That is going to change soon, though. On the inside, you got some goodies there, a sticker from the studio, and of course, the disc is still in this one. But this will be being put in my PlayStation sooner rather than later at this point. All right, let's look at some games that I got new from sales. So one of the websites that I sometimes frequent is called Woot, and it's like an Amazon subsidiary. I think I talked about it last year for the Black Friday stuff. They had a mega Switch sale. A lot of older Switch games were on sale. A lot of games that are worth more than they should be, and simply because Nintendo games really don't lose their value like other games do. So I picked up 2 games for about $30 a piece. And they're both Warriors games. These were 2 games that were highly recommended to me. One of them is Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I did not get Age of Calamity because I wanted to at least try out this first before jumping into that. And then also Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. This is a new sealed copy of that, so I don't know when we'll be playing that, but maybe in the future. 2 games that I bought from VGP on sale. They were $10 each. These are games that are physical that I figured no one's ever going to want them anyway, but whatever, I'll pick them up. We got Zorro, The Chronicles. This just kind of looks like one of those shovelware kind of games. I was surprised that it had a physical edition, so I just decided, you know what, I'll just pick it up. Same thing with Fightin' Herds Deluxe Edition. This was like $10. I think it's a deluxe edition because it simply has some DLC. This looks like it's geared towards people who like My Little Pony or something like that, even though it's not My Little Pony branded. But essentially, it's various hooved animals fighting each other. I thought it might be kind of goofy to stream in the future. And then finally, actually, no, not finally for the new sealed games. I'm sorry. Recompile. This is a limited edition that I got from Amazon. Once again, it was really cheap, like $10. It comes with a steel case. I'm not sure what else, but it's a 3D Metroidvania hack and slash adventure where you fight AI against deletion. Though it sounded cool, and I thought that it was cheap enough. I decided just to pick that up. Another game that I have on Steam, but I wanted to get it physically. Black Sad Under the Skin. I think it's that's what the Black Sad Under the Skin. I like this cover art, 1, but 2, I know that the game doesn't run great on Steam, so I was hoping maybe the PS5 version would be a bit better. But once again, I already own this on Steam. I just wanted to get a physical copy of it. And then also Slayer Zero X. This game looked really cool. It was really cheap on Amazon. Another like $15 cut type one. It is like a hack and slash 2D kind of game. 2.5D game. It looked pretty cool. So I decided to pick that up, add it to the collection. And now, finally, for the sealed games. I already own this one on Steam as well. I picked up Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition. So this one comes with all of the DLC for the game, meaning that you get to play even more content. Treasures of the Past, From Ashes, and Band of Bastards, along with the Amorous Adventures of Bold Sir Hans Capon and A Woman's Lot. All those DLCs coming on the disc, along with the, I guess, various packs that came with it. But yeah, this was one that I saw on Best Buy's website, and they were selling it once again for like $20. And I was like, okay, I know I already own this, but after how much fun I had with Kingdom Come 2, I was like, you know what, let's pick this up physically. All right, we have a couple of eBay games. First one is Haze. This was Sony's attempt to, I don't know exactly how to say it. This was Sony's attempt to try and get like a Halo killer, I guess you could say. But essentially, it's called Haze. It's futuristic sci-fi. There you go. Here are some games that I had back when I was a kid. Actually, 2 of them are for the Wii here. So this was actually the first M-rated game that I bought from a used game store, and that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex Edition. This is a separate version of Modern Warfare. It's got all the same levels, it's mostly the same design, but it uses motion controls. So this was really cheap on eBay, and I said technically I already owned this back in the day. I just wanted to pick it up again, add it back to the collection. Because as I explained a couple times now, I'm just trying to get games back that I sold back in the day that maybe I shouldn't have sold. Another one, we have Summer coming up, and this is a game that I picked up back in the day for Wii. But I decided to pick it back up again because summer's coming around, and we're going to do something special in summer. And that is Sonic and the Secret Rings. I picked this up. I know that this isn't a great game by any means, I'm pretty sure. But I did own this back when I was a kid. Can't tell you much about it other than I remember being a kid and playing it. And the final Wii game is Super Paper Mario. This was about $25 on eBay. It was a complete in-box edition, and the disc looked great, so I decided to pick it up. And I'm hoping to play that eventually down the road here. I thought it looked pretty good. Paper Mario the series. I believe this was like the last one that people like love. So we'll see if I also love it. And then finally, for my pickups today, I picked this up because we played the sequel recently. Or, well, technically this isn't part of the canon, but Red Dead Revolver. This stars not John Marston, although the guy looks very similar to him. They probably figured there was a little bit of bubble wrap in there. Probably figured like, we should probably not make it John Marston or change, make it the same guy for Red Dead 1. But I believe one of the people who was on stream while I was playing Red Dead 2 and asking about this said that they do mention the main character of this game in Red Dead 1. So it would be interesting to hear about that. But yeah, this is technically a game in the Red Dead series. It's just not a part of the Red Dead Redemption storyline. It's something completely different. So there you go. I thought that would be worth picking up. All right, we're gonna start off with some stuff that I picked up on eBay for various reasons. This is actually the first what have I picked up this past month that is on the Spotify video version of the podcast. So if you want to check it out there, it is also there as well. To start things off, we have a Lord of the Rings game called Guardians of Middle-earth, featuring characters from the Hobbit trilogy. Let's go. So if you don't know what this is, this was like a Lord of the Rings like MOBA that they made. I don't even know if it still works, but it was a pretty scarce game to find on eBay. I did play this back on the PS3 back in the day. I believe I had it digitally. I think it was free on PlayStation Plus for some reason. But I don't, like I said, I don't even know if this works. It might just be a disc that has no value to it. But it was getting a little bit expensive on eBay, so I decided to bite the bullet and I bought it for like $25. So we'll see if that, produces anything. Also, this game has been getting pretty big recently, and I found a pretty good deal on a sealed copy. Sonic Unleashed for the PS3. I am loading up on Sonic games. I wonder why. But yeah, Sonic Unleashed, there was a lot of hubbub about a PC port of this game that was unofficial, of course. But yeah, this is a sealed copy. Pretty good condition there. So I've been trying to get all of the console Lord of the Rings games. So one of them that I knew was going to be pretty cheap was the Lord of the Rings Gollum. I do already own this digitally. But for whatever reason, my collector brain was like, I need to get Gollum physical because it's so worth it, folks. But yeah, this is one of the last Lord of the Rings games I needed physically. Battle for Middle-earth 2 on the Xbox 360 is the actual last one that I need. But that's a little bit of a pricey game, so, next up is a game that we streamed, which is Styx Shards of Darkness. The case has a little bit of an issue at the bottom here. I don't know if you can really see that. There's like some sticky goo that I can't get off. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, Styx Shards of Darkness. It was a fun playthrough. I will talk about it in a little bit. This was a recommendation from Lucy in the Discord. Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. For whatever reason, this game is very, very expensive. Probably because it was a PlayStation 4 exclusive. But the original version of the game, meaning not the greatest hits version, goes for like $60 to $80 open. But the greatest hits version, or PlayStation hits version, that was going for about $30. So I decided, you know what, this is probably going to go up too. I don't see why not. But it looked pretty fun, so I thought might as well pick it up. Here's a game that I also own digitally on Epic Game Store, but I wanted a physical copy, and that is Mortal Shell. This is a Souls-like game where you inhabit various bodies, and the cool thing about the physical version is it comes with like this art book, I guess you could call it. But yeah, I just wanted to pick that up. It was really cheap, like $10, and I said, okay, yeah, I'll just get that because it was decent. I didn't get very far in it, so having it physically is always nice. Here's a game from my childhood. This is one that Greedy Waffles and I played a fair amount. And that is Ghost Squad on the Wii. Ghost Squad. I knew that this game wasn't going to be that difficult to find. For whatever reason, a lot of copies were in pretty bad shape, but I found this one. It was in really good shape, and it came from Canada. I don't know why. I don't know why that's important, but it came from Canada. Took a little while to get through customs, I will say. Next up is another game that we streamed. FYI, I do not have the official case for this one. I don't remember where I got Wolfenstein 2009 physically, but it must have been like an eBay or like a GameStop or something like that, where I just don't have the Xbox 360 case for it. It's just a plain almost like a PS2 case, honestly. This is also the same thing that I have for Call of Duty 2 whenever we get around to showing that off. But yeah, I mean, I still have it physically, so it's not like anything weird. Next up, I got a couple Xbox 360 games. We have Need for Speed: The Run. I don't really know much about this one, but I do have it. There's that. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare 0-Day Edition. Someone paid an extra, I don't know, $20 to get this -1 day. So the interesting thing about the 360 version of this game, it comes with an install disc and a play disc. So I'm not sure how different this version is from the PlayStation version, like the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One version, but I figured it might be kind of funny to check that out eventually. And then last but not least, this copy is in a bit of rough condition, I will say, but it did come as a bundle with the other two Xbox games I just showed off. That is Red Dead Redemption. The main reason why I wanted this is because this was one of the original games that I played on the Xbox 360, and I do have a fair amount of nostalgia for that. But the artwork and stuff itself is a bit worse for wear. So, yeah, that's not looking too hot. I also have something else. All right, so had to get a new Xbox 360. As I said, my old one wasn't doing too hot, wasn't really reading discs, and it also had red ringed. But I got the Xbox 360, like I forget what they called this edition. It's just the last. It's the last version of the Xbox 360. I got this plus the 3 games I just showed off and a controller for less than $100. It was $97, and I said that is a super deal. It works like a charm. Nothing wrong with it. And I will say, like, the design is pretty sleek, but I mean, it's no Xbox 360 Elite. Let's be honest. And then yes, I also got a controller. It's blue. It's in better condition than the one that I use normally for Xbox 360 games, which was my original one. So can't really complain there. But yeah, good deal, and I'm glad that I decided to pick that up. All right, let's move on to some stuff that is either new and or was new and still in wrapping that was not from eBay. First up, I got the Balatro playing card deck. So this is like it's not exactly what I thought it was per se, but it's still pretty cool. It's a deck of playing cards, and it has some jokers in there. I feel like because I think they announced a new version of this that actually plays more like Balatro, like a card game of Balatro. This is just a deck of cards, like to play solitaire or something like that, But kind of fun. Enjoy, I like that. Let me see if I can find a Joker. Oh, there it is. The Joker. And not the Batman one. All right, so this was a pretty cool thing. Stardew Valley got its first official wide release physical edition, and I've never... I think I have the game on, like, Steam or something like that. But, yeah, this is the Switch version of Stardew Valley physical. I thought it was pretty nice. Pretty nice looking. And this came from Fangamer, so you didn't have to wait 5 years for it to come out. Not throwing shade at anyone in particular. Next up, a physical copy of Transformers Devastation on the PS3, not the PS4. The PS4 version is very expensive still, but the PS3 version was actually being sold through Amazon. I guess someone out there found a lot of these, and they were selling them for like $20 on Amazon. And I don't know how different the two versions really are, but this was a great deal, especially because the physical version of the PS4 game just goes for astronomical dollar amounts. So this was a excellent find. Wario64 to blame for that one. Next up, another Amazon game. What is it called? Warhammer 40k Shootas, Blood, and Teeth. This is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up set in the Warhammer universe, and you play as the Orcs. I believe you play as the Orcs. So this was like $5 on Amazon. I couldn't resist that one. Also, this was a Woot deal. Persona 5 PlayStation Hits Edition. This comes with all the. I believe this comes with all the DLC on it. Yeah, maybe not. But anyway, PlayStation Hits Edition. I know it's not like that crazy of a find, but $5 for that too. Not too shabby at all. $5 for Persona 5. All right, so I got a bundle of games here, and I got all these for like a buy two get one free deal. We got Matchbox Driving Adventures, which was a game I act like you might be like, oh, Yemmy, that's kind of a stupid thing to get. I actually was wanting this because I was a Hot Wheels, half Matchbox kid back in the day, so I thought it might be kind of fun to play Matchbox Driving Adventures. This one I had never heard about, but the cover of the game is really cool. How do you pronounce this? Numeta? It looks like it looks like it's a horror game. Maybe like a first-person horror game. Hard to say, but the cover looked too cool. The cover was too cool. I was like, okay, I'll pick this up just because the cover looks cool. I don't care. Issue is that does have a hole in it there, which is unfortunate. And then last in this bundle, I got Unknown 9 Awakening. I remember hearing about this when it first came out, or before it came out. I don't exactly remember what it is, but I remember being kind of interested in it. So, Unknown 9 Awakening. May never play it. Who knows? Here's a game that I've had pre-ordered for quite some time physically. I do own it digitally on Steam, but I really wanted a physical edition. That's The Messenger on PS5. They recently released this. It was pre-ordered for quite some time on Amazon. If you don't know what this is, it's a Metroidvania where it's like a one-hit kind of kill scenario for both you and the enemies you face, except for bosses. So I found this to be very charming, very good. I never finished it though, so maybe I'll go back and finish that on Steam eventually down the road. But yeah, the only thing that sucks, disc is loose, and I've been trying to do the little trick to get them into place. I got it to work with a couple games, but I just can't. For some reason, I can't figure it out with this one. All right, folks, it's time for a meme. Concord, also loose disc, which is the most annoying fucking thing in the world because this is definitely a game that I'm not going to open. But Concord, the physical version. So, Yemmy, did you spend astronomical dollars for this game? No. Do you know why? Because I was smart and waited for all the hype to die down, and I bought it when it went down to $15 on the listing that I was following. And if you did not do that yourself, if you decide to buy this for hundreds of dollars, $100 or whatever, you are dumb. I'm going to say it. Anything above $20 for this, not going to be worth it. This is the collector's item just to fill out your PS5 library. Make sure you have all the PS5 games. The disc is worthless. The game itself, worthless now because they shut it down. And also, I don't think it's ever coming back, which is, I don't know if that's a shame, but it's kind of crazy. It was a crazy ride for this game. I know what you're saying. That's a waste of money. Maybe it is, but for the collection, I don't care. All right, here's a game I also played on Xbox Game Pass. This is Metal Slug Tactics. This was a limited run release, so I ordered it last year. Came in yesterday, actually, before recording this. I thought it was a pretty fun game. I didn't get too far in it because it is pretty difficult. But, yeah, I thought the physical edition looked really good. I love the artwork on the front. And, yeah, there you go. All right, here's some brand spanking new games. We got Split Fiction, which I've already talked about a couple times on the podcast. So this one is open. There it is, Split Fiction. This did come with a pre-order keychain. Oh boy. Pretty much just the two protagonists in their little worlds on a keychain. This game is in my PlayStation right now. It's Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oh, man, excuse me. Use that code if you want to. I already redeemed it. Get fucked. And then finally, the first Berserker, Kazan. We are actually streaming this one. So it is in the box right now because I pulled it out for Assassin's Creed. But first Berserker Kazan, that's it. All right, so we're going to start off with some things that... this is the April pickup, by the way, April games. I'm going to start off with a couple things that I got from like eBay, and then we'll get to the new stuff that's wrapped. But first, we did finish a game this month, folks. I know, shocking. We've been playing a lot of the longer games, and I did finally finish one of those games this month. We've been playing the first Berserker Kazan, and then we've also been playing Death Stranding. So I just wanted to show I have my original copy of Death Stranding from like 2019, and yeah, this was this one. I'll talk about it in the what I've been playing section. But this is a fantastic experience, and I'm so upset with myself that I did not play the game fully back in the day, because I think I would have. I mean, well, you'll see what happened. But yeah, Death Stranding. That is the first game to show off today. Next up, game from eBay, Killzone Liberation Sealed. This game did come to the PlayStation services, but I decided to pick it up physically because they removed the Resistance games from that PlayStation service, so you never know what's going to happen. So I decided to pick this up. It was only $10. That's how kind of most PSP games are. We have a couple other... Let's see here. Medal of Honor Heroes 2. This one was the one that I never got when I was a kid, but I wanted to get it. So I've never played this one. But it was Siabi. And then along with that, bundled in, the Wii Zapper. Ooh, the Wii Zapper, folks. Isn't that so cool? I've wanted to repick one of these up for a while, and it was $30 for a bundle, and I said, okay, fine. So yeah, I got the Wii Zapper. We already played a game on stream called Ghost Squad that utilized the Wii Zapper, but obviously I didn't have it when I played it, but now we do. We have it, so now we could use the Wii Zapper. Woo-hoo! And of course, you can't get the Wii Zapper without Link's crossbow training, can you? So this is actually a reproduction case that is not official, okay? I did get an official little sleeve, but I decided to buy this because, one, that'll look great on my shelf, and two, it's just cool. And it was only like $10. So I got a case, and I got the game separately, but yeah, Link's crossbow training. Would have been cool if they had sent the game originally in a case like this, but they went with the Wii Sports angle. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Love that. Sonic Frontiers. Physically. I have this digital already, but I decided to get it physically because it was only another one that was like $10 physically. I found a great deal for that. Also has the Sonic movie insert. Wonderful. This was a pretty good Sonic game. I never finished it. So they're, oh, I don't know why Yemmy is buying so many Sonic games. And then finally from eBay, Watch Dogs. This was another one that was like super cheap. I got to take the GameStop sticker off of it. But yeah, I decided to pick it up because I don't even know at this point. Like, there's some games that you buy and it's like, oh, it's $10 free shipping. I'm gonna grab that. Why did I grab that? I don't know. So, I recently found this one in the bowels of my basement. Pokemon Omega Ruby. This I do have a 3DS. And this was actually the one game that I bought with it back in the day. So, Pokemon Omega Ruby. I do have this. Does that mean I'm rich? Yeah, I got Pokemon Omega Ruby. Is this one that's really like, oh my gosh, am I rich now? Is this like a $200 game? I don't know. Either way, I wasn't planning on selling it, but kind of cool that I found this. It was in my like old desk, right? It was actually right next to the 3DS as well, which I didn't bring this show, but whatever. All right, so we got some games that are sealed, and a lot of these games I did order a while ago. The first one, case in point, is Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic physically on the Switch. This was one that you could pre-order, like, I feel like it was at least a year ago at this point. But I really wanted to pick this up because this is a physical edition of Roller Coaster Tycoon that we have not gotten. We haven't gotten a physical edition since like the last bundle for PC. So this is pretty cool. I really wanted to pick this up, and it was only on Switch as well. It was only on Switch. This came from Super Rare Games, SteamWorld Build. All of the Super Rare games are European, but it doesn't matter for this generation. SteamWorld Build is a game that I played last year on Game Pass, so I was willing to wait to pick up a physical edition because you kind of knew that they were going to do a physical edition, just like with SteamWorld Heist 2. So the story behind this one, Enotria, the last song, the pre-orders for this physical edition it was late because the game came out, I don't know, earlier this year, right? Or maybe last year. I don't remember at this point. But essentially, I got gifted this game digitally by Lucy in the Discord. So I really appreciate that. And I forgot that I had pre-ordered the physical edition because I definitely wouldn't have gotten the physical edition if I had remembered. But yeah, Enotria, the Last Soul, physically, I guess I'll keep that. Here was one that was like, I was very surprised. They were selling this on eBay. No, I'm not eBay. Amazon for like $5. The Jackbox Party Pack 7. Always fun to have a Jackbox in the house. I don't have one currently, so Jackbox Party Pack 7, or Sieben, as they say in Germany. Next up was a really cheapo one, Colt Canyon. The reason that I picked this up is because this is one of the games that I played at PAX the first time that we went. And I said, that's kind of a nice little memento. It was like one of the first games that we played there. Colt Canyon. It's like a top-down Western where it's almost like a roguelite as well, where you shoot up like a town or whatever. But, of course, the game came loose, and my normal fix for getting games into place isn't working on this one. So that's unfortunate. We have a limited run game here, Terminal Velocity Booster Edition. I decided to buy this one because it looked fun, and it was also pretty cheap compared to most limited run releases. Looks like you just play as a little, I don't know, hover car, whatever, race around. But yeah, Terminal Velocity, kind of a cool little concept there. Also, Lunar Lander Beyond. So this is like a I don't know, a sequel to Lunar Lander, which is a very, very old game. This is from the line of Atari games where they are trying to reboot and like modernize their old IPs. So Lunar Lander Beyond, this one came out like last year, I'm pretty sure. So it was one of the first ones that they did. But yeah, I mean, decided to pick that up because it was once again like $10 on Amazon. And then finally, we have two things here that I pre-ordered a while ago. One of them is the physical version of Neva. I never played this one because I was waiting for a physical edition. But yeah, this game looks pretty nice. I'm excited to play that. And then also at the same time, I pre-ordered this deluxe edition of Grease. And yes, it is Grease, not Gris, Grease. The main reason for that is I thought that it was a beautiful looking collector's edition. I love the cover art. And this is probably one that I won't be opening because when I played the game, I played it on like Game Pass, so I don't really need to open it. But yeah, it's the deluxe edition. It comes with includes the soundtrack and an art book, which I'm guessing is why it's a little bit fatter because it actually has a physical CD in there. But yeah, Grease. Okay, here are the May pickups. Well, we're going to start off with some games that I streamed throughout May and beforehand. Death Stranding, gotta show off. I have a physical copy of Death Stranding, of course. This is my original copy from back in the day when it originally came out. I did get the PS5 upgrade, so you could put this into your PS5 and get the PS5 upgrade. I did not buy a PS5 native copy. I have it on my wish list, so I'll see if it gets down to like, $20, $15. I might pick up a PS5 copy. So we'll see in the future. Also, have you seen this one before? The first Berserker Kazan. We finished this game on stream. I figured might as well be consistent, and just show off the game again. This is probably the second time you've been seeing this since it came out. But yes, first Berserker Kazan. We finished it on stream. Here it is. I already talked about that 2 episodes ago. Also, we finished GoldenEye Rogue Agent. This is a PS2 game. Decent. I will talk about it in the next section of the podcast. But there you are. GoldenEye Rogue Agent complete. It just has a sticker on it that I got to take off. And finally, for the games that we streamed, Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I already talked about this one a little bit as well. It is complete in box. I forgot to take the disc out of my Xbox. Whoops. But I do that is complete in box. Don't worry. Now, here are some older games that I picked up from various places. So first off, we have, look at that, Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. This one is not complete in box. I am missing the manual. I need to get to that. But I figured it was a pretty solid price at the used store near me, so I decided to pick it up. Star Wars Monopoly, or Monopoly Star Wars. I played a bit of this when my computer was in the shop, and it's very nostalgic for me. This is actually one of my first Star Wars experiences. We got a demo disc, I think, out of like a cereal box back in the day, and this is one of the first games that I played from Star Wars. Pretty crazy. Also, Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate for the 3DS. Since the PC version wasn't running too well, I figured we might as well grab the DS version. I'm pretty sure I am missing the manual on this one, but the game is there. I'm thinking of trying to stream like the DS and play this, but I'll get back to you on that. Next up, Angry Birds Star Wars. Angry Birds Star Wars. I just thought that it was funny that we have a physical version of this, Angry Birds Star Wars. This is before the sequels came out, so it is only original trilogy characters. Next up, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. This was $10 on Amazon, sealed, brand new. This game is notorious for being very cheap and getting brand new copies, like sealed copies. I remember having an Xbox 360 version of this that I bought for $10 on Amazon as well, but I don't remember what happened to it. But here is the PS3 version. Boom, bada, bing. And then speaking of Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. This game came out right when I first got my PS3 back in the day. Or actually, it was a little bit after. It was a little bit before. I'm sorry, a little bit before. But this actually fills out the rest of the Metal Gear Solid collection that I have physically, because I own the collections for the There's a collection for the PS3 that has all the games except for this one in it. Then I bought the remastered collection with 1, 2, and 3, plus some of the older games. And then, of course, we got Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. And then, boom, Metal Gear Solid 4. I also have... actually, I think I have Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain physically. I think I need to get the Ground Zeroes game physically to truly finish out my collection of Metal Gear games that I've never played. But I will get to that. Shrek, Forever After, the final chapter. This is like some sort of like, I think it's like a beat 'em up or something like that. I decided to buy this because I don't know. I don't know. I like Shrek games, so what can I say? Doom VFR. I've been waiting to buy this game for so long, and it finally went down to a price that I was comfortable with paying for, especially because I'm not big on playing the VR games. But Doom VFR, pretty cool. It also has some inserts here. One's for Skyrim VR, and the other is for, I guess that's like a little safety guide manual for Doom. All right, and this was the last of the new old games. Let's see the new games. So at the beginning of the month, Spirit of the North 2 came out. I did not open it yet. The only reason that I bought this, because it obviously this seems like an odd pick for me to pick up, Spirit of the North Enhanced Edition was actually the first, or one of the first, PlayStation 5 games I ever played. So I wanted to, just for nostalgia's sake, I guess. It was only like 4 years ago, but just for a little bit of nostalgia's sake, I guess, I got Spirit of the North 2. Also, the marquee release this week, Elden Ring Night Rain. Picked this up physically, of course. I did not get the deluxe edition. The game is in my console because we are playing that. Next up, The Precinct Limited Edition. I got this edition because it was only $10 more. It came with a very nice looking steelbook, and it came with like a map inside here along with the game's soundtrack download code. But yeah, there's a map in here, and of course the game disc itself. So I thought that this was a really great looking limited edition, and like I said, it was only like $10 more, which made it like 50. Which I thought was more than worth it. I have not gotten around to playing this yet because this came out during the week that my computer was in the shop, and I was just kind of like, I don't know. For some reason, I just couldn't play anything. Like, I couldn't get myself to play anything new, but Precinct right there. And then finally, this is a game that I ordered quite some time ago because I'm trying to collect all the physical Batman games, right? So we got the Batman Arkham Trilogy collections, the Arkham Collection. This includes Batman Arkham Asylum, City, and Night. It does not have Origins, which is a usual thing for these things. So this is essentially the remastered versions of City and Arkham on the disc, and then it's a download for Night and all of its DLCs, which is very strange. I don't see why they couldn't just throw Night onto a disc or like a double disc in there. Maybe they just had extra copies of the Batman, City and Asylum remake collections or remastered collections. But yeah, I thought that it would be a great idea to add this to my collection for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean this of course just adds to my list of Batman games that I have physically. There are of course still a lot to go, but this was one that is brand new, mint, latest updates on the disc. For Arkham Knight, it is a download code, so unfortunately that's no bueno for me. But cool to have this, I guess. And I love the cover art with the 3 different Batman game covers on there. So I'm a sucker. What can I say? And that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna start off with the consoles. So yes, that's an S on there. I did get the Switch 2, as you all know. I already showed this off. I am very much enjoying my time with it. I have been playing it a little bit less than I would like to at this point because a certain game came out this week. But I was having a lot of fun just messing around with it, playing the console, playing around with it. I love the mouse mode, taking the Joy-Con off and just automatically becoming a mouse. Like that is pretty cool, especially for well, I guess just for things in the future that it can be, like the Metroid game that's coming out eventually. We'll see if there's any mouse support with any other games that come out, but I think that is pretty cool. But I do very much enjoy the console, even though I haven't been playing as much as I want to right now. Like I said, but once Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out, I'll be slamming this thing till dusk to dawn. Oh, well, that's weird. I seem to have gotten a second Switch 2 somehow. Wait, that's not a Switch 2. Yes, I got a Wii U. That's right. I got a very good deal for a very lovely looking console. The original listing price was like $140 or something like that. And the person sent me an offer for $91. And it was literally like the same week as the Switch 2. And I said, am I going to pass that up? Like, this beautiful looking Wii U that had all the wires, even came with Mario Kart 8 installed on the console. Am I really going to pass up that deal, let someone else take that? Hell no. So, yeah, I decided to bite the bullet and buy the console. And I already have a couple games for it as well, as you will soon find out. But yeah, it runs like a charm. I got a great deal on it. Seems like the person who had the console either got it for like when they went to college back in the day or something like that, because there wasn't a lot on here, not a lot of save data on here, and it just had Mario Kart 8 installed, which was, I believe it was pre-installed on the console, so even though I did a wipe of the memory, that was still there, which is awesome. So, yeah, the Wii U, you might be seeing this sooner rather than later on streams. Also, I dug up my 3DS. This is the original 3DS. Now, I know I talked about this probably quite a while ago that I had this 3DS. This is the one that I got. Had to be like 2015 or something like that, because I was going on a huge trip for work, and I was like, well, what am I going to do? So I bought this and Pokemon Ruby Sapphire, which I think I already showed off in a past episode here. But yeah, this is my 3DS. I told y'all that I was going to show it off eventually, but there it is, 3DS. And what's the game you're playing right now, Yemmy? The game I'm playing right now is a game that I actually recently got, which is Drake and Josh, what's it called? Drake and Josh Talent Showdown. Amazing. I will talk about that game eventually. I'm almost done with it. But there you go. There's a 3DS. Along with the 3DS, I also got a DS game, because you can play DS games on the 3DS, and that was Lego Rock Band on the DS. I decided to pick this up because why not? In all honesty, it did not come with the proper manual, I don't think, but whatever. So that is the DS and the 3DS right there. All right, I'm going to show off some games that we streamed. I don't know if I've shown these cases off before, but here are the couple games that we streamed this past week, or actually month. I'm sorry, this past month that I have physically. Now there is going to be one game missing from this because I don't think we're done playing it. So hold on. Sonic Colors Ultimate. This one we recently streamed. Actually, this was this past week, so I will be talking about that one. Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. This had one game on it that I was pining for, and that was the Sonic 3D Blast game. PS3 version, greatest hits. I believe that this is a little bit pricier now, simply because they had to take this off of the shelves and off of the store fronts, because they lost licensing to maybe a couple games on here, because it's not just Sonic games. It's actually a whole collection of Genesis games as well. So I think that this has gone up in price, but I'm not sure. This is a very mint copy. I believe we bought this new not that long ago, probably a little bit before they took the game down from storefronts. And I think I got it for like $20 on Amazon or something like that. And then almost like a week later, they took this offline, and the price went higher. And then finally, for the physical collection of games that we've streamed this past month, I believe I showed this one off already in a recent what I haven't picked up this past month. But Sonic and the Secret Rings, this was one of the first Sonic games we played. We got this out of the way early. I talked about it in the beginning of the month's episode of the podcast. Not that great of a game, but what are you gonna do? Next up, I'm gonna go over the brand new games, or the games that I got essentially factory sealed, I should say. Some of them are sealed, some of them I've opened because I've been playing them, including Mario Kart World, which I already showed off quite a lot when we talked about the Switcheroonie and cheese. Still don't really understand why they did the red internal. Like, I feel like that the inside should just be clear, but whatever. So there's that. I feel like at this point I'm kind of... I mean, it sucks to say it, but I think I'm kind of done with the game now. Like, I haven't marked it as beaten, but at this point, like, I don't really know if there's anything else I want to do in it, which is kind of sad to say. Death Stranding 2 just came out a couple days ago. The reason why the disc is in the case is because we were playing that Sonic collection. So I took this out. I also thought that Sonic Origins Plus had 3D Blast on it, which is why I took it out. But it ended up being on the PS3 Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, so I had to scramble and plug in the PS3 and all that stuff. But yes, I do have Death Stranding 2 here. This game was $5 on Amazon. I don't believe it had free shipping, but it was pretty cheap. And that is You Suck at Parking Complete Edition. I don't know really what this is, but it's some sort of multiplayer game where you try and park your car as fast as you can or something like that. Another one that I found on eBay for like $10. We got Dreams, factory sealed, and the shipping wasn't too bad either. I've never played Dreams, and I never thought to play Dreams, but I have it. I've kind of been wanting to get all the first-party PlayStation games, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, etc., just to have them. And this was one on the list that I didn't have. And then finally, for this factory sealed, like new games, we got The Thing Remastered. This was a long time coming. I wanted a physical version of this game because I just knew it was going to come out eventually. Night Dive Studios usually does that sort of thing, but there you go. You can see here they did a mistake with my copy. The artwork is a little bit too high. It's about maybe about a centimeter or so too high there, and it's caused the rest of it to go a little bit too high up. So when I eventually open this down the road, I will fix that, but as of right now, it's going to stay that way, being a little bit off, which annoys me. It annoys me, it does. All right, we got some more eBay games here. Okay, this game actually arrived right before Sonic Summer started, and that was Sonic Forces on the Switch. Now, I already had a copy of this game for free on the PlayStation 4, but I did want a physical copy of it, and the Sonic Forces edition on Switch was relatively cheap compared to the other versions for whatever reason. So there you go. Probably means that's probably the worst running version, but whatever. Oh, yes. I was talking about this last time I did one of these. I was getting close to collecting all of the Metal Gear Solid games physically. And here's another one, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. This is the prequel to Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, which did get a reference in Death Stranding, by the way. But this was this was like a 3-4 mission type game, and I remember it being free on PlayStation Plus eventually down the road. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty cool, almost like a tech demo in the way. And then the the Phantom Pain came out, and that like blew me away. So this is one of the last ones I needed physically. The next one up would be Metal Gear Survive. So we'll see if that shows up eventually. All right, another game that has I literally just got these games today. So Sonic Boom: The Rise of Lyric came in the mail today. This is a Wii U game, of course. It doesn't have amazing reviews, but I thought that it would be fun to add this midway through our Sonic adventure, our Sonic Summer contest type thing. So yeah, I'll see how it is if it does get chosen on the random wheel. This next one, I need to get new artwork for it because, and I knew this coming, when it was coming. I bought this in a double pack with Sonic, and that is Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. You can see it's just torn at the bottom. The bottom of the cover art is completely gone. Now, like I said, I knew that going into it because the rest of it is complete. All I need is the artwork, and I'll be good. But it was in a really good deal with Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom was or is going for about $26, and Super Smash Bros. Is going for about $20, and it was in a bundle for $31, and then I got a markdown for $28. So I said I can't really pass that up. But I will eventually get a new cover art for that because the rest of this looks really good. The manual's in there. Everything else looks good. It's just the torn at the bottom there for whatever reason. Maybe someone's dog got into it. What the dog doing? I don't know. Here's a classic, Zombie U. This is actually one of the few Wii U games I had back in the day when I originally had a Wii U. And as you can see, it is very, very, it has the white Wii U gamepad because that was the original there. This is actually in my Wii U right now. So I was just kind of using this game to test it out. I bought this game at a used game store around me just so I could have something to test that wasn't just like Mario Kart 8. I wanted to test the disk drive, so that made sure that I was all working. The next game is one. Once again, I was talking about this series during the last episode. The last time we did this, I said I was close to getting all the Batman games physically. Well, this is a unique Batman game, Batman Arkham Origins. I'm sorry, Arkham. Oh my gosh, Batman Arkham City Armored Edition. So it does have some extra content in it, making it a unique Batman Arkham game. The only one I have left to collect in this entire series is the Wii U version of Arkham Origins physically, and that'll be it. I will be I'll be done with the entire physical collection of Batman Arkham games that are unique. Because no, I don't have the 360 version and the PS3 version and of this game. I don't need that because I have it physically already on other consoles. But this was one of the last ones that I needed that is unique. And Arkham Origins is also a unique Wii U Batman title. I don't know how unique, but it is unique enough that I feel like I should pick it up. But Batman Arkham City Armored Edition is the first of the last, I guess you could say, of the Batman games. And then two more Wii U games. My apologies. I decided to pick this up because there is some cool features with the gamepad functionality on this, and that is Mass Effect 3 Special Edition, or Edition Speciale. This is Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U. I do not believe that there's any multiplayer mode to this one. It is just the campaign. Also, you can use the gamepad to direct your team and use special abilities. Also, this comes with a unique comic storybook at the beginning of the game because there was no Wii version of this game, of like the series, and there's no other Wii U version of any of the other games. It's just Mass Effect 3 that got a Wii U version. So they had to take the comic version from the PS3 version of Mass Effect 2 and put that onto this disc. And then they also had to make a comic version for Mass Effect 2 that gives you your choices, your major choices. And I never have actually seen or played that version. So here we go. It's right here, Mass Effect 3 Special Edition on the Wii U. And then finally, for the Wii U games, the Piece La Resistance. Callus is about to cream his freaking pants. It is a brand new sealed copy of Star Fox Zero with bonus Star Fox Guard inside. I'm not going to be opening this box until I want to play the games. But there you go, Star Fox Zero, one of the infamous Wii U games out there with that was bundled in with Star Fox Guard. The story behind this, I wasn't planning on picking this up, just like everything else in this episode. But I got a great offer. This was going for about $40. I got an offer for 34. Brand new. Brand stinking new. Doesn't even smell. Star Fox Zero. Infamous. All right, next up, I have a couple of PS2 games. Now, when I was putting all my games away for on my shelf during that one live stream, I knew that I was missing a lot of games from a particular series that I knew that I had the games for. So my other half found the rest of the collection, and now they're going to be added to my collection. And those are the Guitar Hero games. So the ones that I was missing from the shelf putting on video was Guitar Hero, the original Guitar Hero on PS2. We bought this for $1 at the used game store. And of course, these are mint copies. Very mint. Guitar Hero Encore Rock the 80s. This is one of the rare Guitar Hero games that I never had physically. I only had it digitally, but now, there you go. Guitar Hero Encore Rock the 80s. Next up is Guitar Hero Aerosmith on the PS2. Now, I do have the Xbox 360 version of this, so this is not a new fangled thing for my collection, but it is the PS2 version, which is a little bit different, I guess. Same thing with Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock. I have this game on the Xbox 360, but here's the PS2 version just to simply add to the pack. These are a little bit out of order. I apologize. Guitar Hero 2. This one is the PS2 version. Once again, all these are going to be PS2 versions. This is also another one that I never had, but I have the Xbox 360 version. It's right over there on my shelf. So don't start the wince in pain. I do have the Xbox 360 version of this. I just never had the PS2 version of this. And then finally, the last one is Guitar Hero World Tour. Once again, I have this on 360, but this is the PS2 version of the game. So there you go. There's something written inside here that I cannot show off. But yeah, there it is, Guitar Hero World Tour. So, that completes that. Also not shown here today, we found the Guitar Hero black Guitar Hero controllers that came with, I think it was Guitar Hero 3, which I believe was like the Fender Stratocaster guitar or whatever it was called. It was like the black one. I think it's on the back of this one right there. We also found the Sunburst guitar from Guitar Hero World Tour. And then we also got a Guitar Hero 5, that red, like, glitter-bombed Guitar Hero controller as well. We found those as well. The best one out of those is the Guitar Hero 5 controller. That is one that a lot of people swear by. And I do agree it was a pretty good one. Not my favorite one, design-wise, but very functional. So we found all... I'm not showing them off today because I already have enough here. So... there you go. That was freaking almost 20 minutes of showing off games. Wow, who could have thought? All right, we got a lot to show off here. I'm going to start off with some miscellaneous things. First up, the first episode, the first issue of Game Informer under their solo management, their own publishing, is out now with the Borderlands 4 cover story. I've read about halfway through this. I wanted to finish the whole thing by this episode so I could talk about it in detail, but unfortunately I just didn't have time. But I read through about half of the book now. I'm about halfway through the Borderlands 4 section of the book, or the magazine. I'm sorry, the magazine. And I mean, I gotta say, like, it's been a while since I've had a Game Informer. I originally went away from them because I was not doing the Power Up Rewards, like, paying for that anymore, the premium GameStop membership. And once they took that away, I was like, well, there's no reason to go back, right? But when they announced that they were doing, like, an issue every other month, and it was under their own wing, they weren't, like, you know, they weren't pressured, you know, under pressure from GameStop to put out, like, you know, I just knew I had to get back on it. So, yes, Game Informer, I renewed my subscription, and I'll probably be showing off every single one as I get them. And hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping to get this read through. The one thing that they did do that I'm not a huge fan of, and that's also was from back in the day as well, they have like these really short, like 1 or 2 lines for a couple games in here that I feel like do deserve more, like Blueprints and Silent Hill 2 and whatnot. Like I feel like these deserve more than just a couple sentences. Now it's possible that they're only doing this because the magazine has been gone for a couple months and they were like, well, we're gonna do big reviews for the big stuff like Claire Obscure and stuff like that. But we're gonna put some short stuff in the back for games that we've missed in the past few months. I get that, and I hope they don't continue to do that with the games that I'm actually interested in hearing more about, like in terms of reviews. But as of right now, I'm satisfied with the book, with the magazine. If you want to pick up a couple issues, it's not too bad of a price. Also, on the Game Informer website, you can actually sift through the entire catalog of old Game Informer magazines. So that's pretty cool. And that's I think that's for free. I think you can access that for free, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty cool there. Game Informer, it's back. I also got a really good deal on this next item, and that is the Firewall Zero Hour PlayStation VR Aim Controller Bundle. You might be asking me, how much did you get this for? I got this for $20 at GameStop. Funny enough, I was just kind of in there randomly and I saw this on the floor and I'm like, "Hey, how much is that Firewall Zero Out of bundle?" And he was like, "Oh, it's $20 it says in the system." And I'm like, "$20 for the bundle?" And he double checked and he scanned the barcode. He was like, "Yep, $20." And I said, "Okay, sold." This was one of the last items. The aim controller was one of the last things I needed for my PlayStation 4 like collection. So this is pretty much just a collection update. I'm probably never going to open this box. It is a bit dinged up. It was on the I've seen this case on the floor in that GameStop for quite a long time. So I'm probably never going to be opening this and probably will never use the controller inside. But yeah, I mean, never say never, I guess. Justin Bieber. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a deal that I couldn't pass up. And I said, you know what? I need this controller to complete the collection for the PS4, and with this controller, I pretty much have every accessory that I could ever want. I mean, I'm sure there's like a remote control or whatever that I don't have, but pretty much everything else I have for the PS4, which does pretty much conclude my collecting for the PS4. Plus, you get a physical copy of the Firewall Zero Hour game, which is pretty cool too. I like that they include a physical copy of the game in here. So, yeah. Firewall Zero Hour with aim controller bundle. Good deal. The question is, where do I store it? I don't know. We'll see. We're going to start off with some games that I streamed this past week, so nothing too crazy, but I have been playing a lot of Sonic, not past week, past month. I have, of course, been playing a lot of Sonic games. Here are the physical ones that I have. Shadow X Sonic Generations or Sonic X Shadow Generations. Technically, I bought this last year, but I actually just got around to playing and finishing Shadow Generations. Sonic Unleashed, if you don't recall, I bought this brand new and sealed, so I had to break the seal on it and open it up. I like the game, but it's definitely not great in my opinion. Sonic 06, now there's a great game. There's a great game right there. I really enjoyed this. I was kind of surprised. You can listen to my thoughts in the last episode. Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. This is a game that kind of went up in price a lot because they actually delisted a lot of the games that were on this pack, including the game that we played from this pack, which was Sonic 3D Blast, and the PS3 version was excellent for that. And finally, for the games we streamed, I've been using Sonic Origins Plus to stream a lot of the games from our days with Sonic, including Sonic 1, 3D, Sonic CD, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And then also I played a lot of Game Gear games with the Plus option on here. I don't want to open this thing up. It's a bit messy. There's a booklet in here and whatnot, but I don't want to open it up right now because I'm being lazy today. Plus, you've already seen it, so it doesn't even matter. All right, the next set is new games, like brand new games that I bought this past month. Up first is, of course, Donkey Kong Bonanza. I've been talking about this pretty much every week since I got it. The game is in my Switch 2 at the moment. I'm pretty well along through that game. Also, I actually found this at a ma and pa shop when I was on vacation a couple weeks ago. and I was surprised that they had it because this is an exclusive to like VGP and stuff like that, and it was on. They only sold it for like $40. This is a Tap On 1+2 replay. Back when they revealed this, I said I want to buy a physical version of that because this is a re-release of two pretty fun rhythm games. So there you go. I haven't opened the seal on that one yet. Probably won't for a while. This was actually a collection pickup, but it is relatively new. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 on disc physically. I have not opened this one, and I probably won't open this one because this was just to support the developers because I love this game so much. I said, you know what, I'll pay however much to get a physical copy. That way, I'm not just doing the Xbox Game Pass version. I'm actually supporting the developer and getting the physical copy of the disc as well. Which, yeah, good game. Play it. This one is open, but I haven't played it yet, and that is RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business. This has just came out, and actually, it didn't just come out. Actually, the physical version just came out. The physical version was delayed like a week. I had to open it up because the CD was so whacked out inside of the case that I could not get it to fish around and lock in the place with my little trick that I do. But I am planning on playing this one soon anyway, so, it doesn't really hurt to open this one up. But yeah, RoboCop, Rogue City Unfinished Business. I'll be probably starting that this coming week. Also, whoop-de-doo, it's EA Sports College Football 26. You know my thoughts on this. Check out last episode for the details. And then finally for the new games pickups, this actually is something I forgot that I ordered because it's one of those things you order like a year in advance and it comes out now. But that is the Soul Reaver Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered Collection. This was about, I believe they were selling this for like $50 on Amazon. Brand new, and I believe it has some collector's edition material in there as well. Includes exclusive items, standard physical game, steelbook, art book, soundtrack, greatest hits. So there you go. So that's a beefy one. I'll probably open this up eventually, but yeah, I'm so happy when a collector I'm gonna do quotations collector's edition comes out like this where it's not really that much more than a regular game, so I can justify the price of like $50 to $60. And two, it comes with some really cool stuff, especially if you're a fan of the Soul Reaver games. Who could go wrong? I'm running out of room here. But I do have a couple other things that are sealed games that I bought, but they're not new games. So let's go over those here. One of them is Anthem. I actually had to repurchase this game. It was only $5 on eBay with shipping, and I was like, you know what? I want to play this game, and it's being delisted soon. It's being shut down soon. So now is the time to buy in and play it because everything's going to be free for you to play. So I am planning on playing this on stream soon. Probably once we are done with the Sonic games, we'll start Anthem. I know everyone's like so excited. Calm yourselves. I also bought Pepper Grinder physically. I played this game on Steam a while back, but the physical version was on sale for like $15. I was like, fuck yeah. That's an Amazon pickup there. This was, I believe, another Amazon pickup for like $10 to $15. Physical version of Super Meat Boy Forever. This is actually a limited run game, but I believe they were partnered with. No, it was Best Buy. I'm sorry, it was Best Buy. They were partnered with Best Buy for a physical version of the game, and it was on sale for like $10 to $15. So I decided to pick that up. It's like a runner or something like that, where your Meat Boy is always running. I remember playing a little bit of it on Steam. I wasn't like super crazy about it, but yeah, I mean, good collection update. Something from Limited Run. And then finally, I bought a physical version of Battlefield 2042 sealed. Once again, this was like $5 on Best Buy's website, free shipping. And I said, you know what? Collection update. Battlefield. The Battlefield game that I needed in my collection. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say Battlefield 2042, if you haven't played it since its launch, it's gotten much better. I know that the new game is coming out, and I'll talk about that. Don't you worry. But this is not a bad first-person shooter. It's not great, but it's not bad. And I enjoyed it when I played it last year. And yeah, I'll talk more in depth about that. But yeah, decided to get a physical version of that to for the collection. One more stack of games to go here. First up, we have Carnival Games on the DS. I'm sure you can kind of see that. Carnival Games on the DS. This was actually a freebie thrown in by that mom and pop store that I was talking about. There was no price tag on it, and I brought it up, and they were like, "Yeah, just have it." I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to complain." No case though, unfortunately. I also got Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This is the DS version, Nintendo DS version. The reason why I got this is because I had this back in the day, and it was actually pretty good. I mean, it was a little bit different from the main game, but that's kind of what you expect from this. And then, someone's trying to collect all the games. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Mobilize. This is actually the sequel to the Modern Warfare that's on the DS. And it's actually a different campaign than the Modern Warfare 2 that you know and love. So I think that's going to be a pretty cool playthrough Nintendo DS game there. I have some 3DS games. I'll be talking about this one on the episode that I'm recording this for. Super Mario 3D Land. This was actually relatively cheap. I was actually surprised because a lot of times Mario games just kind of stay pretty pricey, but this one was actually not too bad. So Super Mario 3D Land. And then also I got a game called... The case is a little dirty. I apologize. Steel Diver. I got to clean up the case a little bit. Steel Diver. This is one of the first games that came out for the DS. And I was like, I haven't played a submarine game. I know there's like those submarine simulators on like Steam and stuff like that. Never got around to playing them. This one is, I believe this one's actually a Nintendo game. Yeah, it's actually published and made by Nintendo. So yeah, Steel Diver. There you go. Playable in 2D and 3D modes. And then finally for the 3DS games, I got a game called Hey Pikmin. Hey Pikmin! This is one of the Pikmin games that I've never played, of course. A lot of them I haven't played, honestly. Well, maybe not a lot of them. I haven't played the second game and this one. I also really haven't played Blooming, but whatever. Hey Pikmin on the 3DS. Excited to try that out eventually. Next up, we have the Devil May Cry HD collection on the PS4. Physically, this one comes with Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3. It actually has one less game than the PS3 collection that I bought, if you recall, I don't know if that was a couple months ago or whatnot. But this one does not include 4, which is very strange. But yeah, this was a HD collection, Devil May Cry HD collection. As you know, I've been trying to bolster my roster of Metal Gear Solid games, and this one was actually a pickup that I wasn't expecting to get for so cheap. And that is Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker HD Edition. This is actually a Japanese version of the game. And you can actually only get it physically in Japan. It's all in Japanese. That's because this game released on the PlayStation Portable, the PSP. So this actually will not work in my American PS3, but I just wanted to get this because it was relatively cheap, and I got the Crash Bandicoot Japanese version for pretty cheap, and I went on the same seller's website, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we have Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker on the PS3, $20." I was like, "Excuse me?" So yeah, I picked that up because that's gonna look pretty good on the shelf next to all my other Metal Gear Solid games. Almost done with this collection, actually. I believe I just need to buy the Metal Gear Survivor game, and I believe I need to rebuy Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain. I think I don't have that one physically, but yeah, there you go. Pretty cool. This game, I need to take off some stickers here. I'm probably not going to take off the Blockbuster sticker, though, but this is Motor Storm. I have the other games for PlayStation 3, but I did not have not the OG, but the, I guess the reboot of the series, because there was a PSP game, and I believe some PS2 games. But yeah, Motor Storm. Like I said, the case is a little, got some stickers on there. I don't think I'm going to take off the Blockbuster one, though. That's kind of like, that's like an artifact, you know what I'm talking about? So yeah, Motor Storm. This is a game that I talked about in the last episode of the podcast called Project Cars 3. This is being delisted. I decided to buy this one before it was officially delisted just in case it went up in price. I don't think this one is going to, but I was able to buy it for like $4 on eBay. I wanted to buy a copy of John Wick's Hex, and there was a $20 brand new sealed copy physically, and that sold the day that it went that was delisted, and now copies of John Wick Hex are going for like hundreds of dollars. So I wanted to jump on this one early just in case. I don't think it's going to be one of those games that goes up in price, but Project Cars 3 being delisted soon. RIP King. I also picked up a physical copy of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 because the remaster made me really want to play the original version of the game. Even though I think the remaster or remake is fine, nothing beats the original version of this game because the original version obviously is a bit goated with its open world mechanics. But yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, Tony Hawk on the front, of course, classic. This was a game that my other half picked out. That is Ford versus Chevy. This was like $3. You know, can't go wrong. Just like one of those little like pooped out games. Ford versus Chevy. There we go. Funny little game. And there's also another one that my other half picked out. The Haunted Mansion on PS2. Have no clue what this is going to be about or how this is going to play, but I believe this is based off of the Eddie Murphy movie, if I'm not mistaken. Unlock the secrets of the Haunted Mansion. Maybe it's like Luigi's Mansion. Speaking of Luigi, well, not really. Speaking of Nintendo, I got some Wii U games here. So as I was talking about in the last time I did this, I've been trying to get all the Arkham games and variants, and Batman Arkham Origins was one of the last ones that I needed to pick up to have all the unique versions of games. Once again, I'm not sure if this one's truly unique, but I feel like there's got to be some unique quality since it does have the Wii U gamepad to use. So just needed to pick that up. That was not too bad. This next one is actually one of the more expensive games on the Wii U, and I found it for a pretty decent price, like $25. And that is Paper Mario Color Splash. This and the Mario Party games are some of the highest selling Paper Mario games. I do need to get the manual for this, but I mean, that's no problem. Just having the game itself is good, and the case itself is good enough for me right now. And finally, one last Wii U game. This one actually got sealed. That is the Wonderful 101. And they were selling this for about $15 sealed. I was very surprised. And if you don't know, the Wonderful 101, it was a Wii U exclusive until they remastered it, of course. But this is the original version, which probably is why it's not super expensive. It probably used to be expensive before they did that. So there we go. Wonderful 101 caps off this episode of What Have I Picked Up this past week. All right. So for the month of August, went a little bit lighter this month. Past months have been pretty full. Tons of games, consoles, etc. This one's a much more, I would say, held back approach to game collecting. Couple of key items in here, couple of new games in here, but other than that, I didn't try to overspend this month. First up, though, is something I got for free, which is a Time Flew Tombstone. You got this by finishing the game and then sending them a self-addressed letter to get them to send you something back. So that's just like a little patch there. I thought it's kind of cute. Also, a game that we streamed this past month, Katamari Forever. I believe I showed this one off last year because I got it last year. But, yeah, there it is again for your viewing pleasure. All right, let's get into some new games. Starting off with Mafia: The Old Country. This came out at the beginning of the month. I have not gotten around to playing too much more of it because a couple other games have been stealing my time, but I will get back to that eventually. Also, Gears of War Reloaded. This is, honestly, this is crazy. Like, a PS5 version of Gears of War on disc, like, you never thought you would see the day. And honestly, if they do like a Halo Master Chief Collection or something, also physically on PS5, I might also pick that up. Now, the thing about this game is the campaign is on the disc, but the multiplayer and whatever else is not on the disc. So there's a little bit of a caveat there. It's not fully on the disc, but it's mostly on the disc. And I feel like as long as the campaign's on there, it's okay in my book. But yeah, Gears of War Reloaded, once again, very weird to be holding this in my hand in the year of 2025. But here we are. The newest game that I've picked up. I haven't even opened it yet. It's so new. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. This is, of course, the complete remake of the classic by Hideo Kojima. But yeah, I'll be opening up this soon. I'll probably talk about it next week. Here's one that I forgot that I ordered because the physical version came out months after the original game, and that is Date Everything. It's a game where everything in the house can talk to you. Beds, cupboards, benches, laundry. So, yeah, you can essentially date everything. All right, here's some eBay pickups here. So I was talking about this a couple times ago that I was talking about the games or showing off games. I almost have every Batman Arkham variant. Now, I'm not going to buy like the Xbox 360 version of Asylum and the PS3 and the PC. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go that crazy. But I have bought physical copies of every game so far. The only one left, which I'll reveal at the end of this. Actually, I should reveal at the end of this. So, Batman Arkham Knight with the PlayStation exclusive logo on it. This is not really a variant, but it is the original version of this game's release. Future releases, I believe, took that off, but I do have that there. This is so this one was a bit harder to track down than I was expecting, but I did find a copy, and that is Batman Arkham Asylum with the 3D version of the game enabled. This is actually the version of the game that I had originally on the Xbox 360, and it has 3D glasses inside of it. These are official Batman Arkham 3D glasses. So I knew that I wanted to buy this version of the game because, of course, it has that special mode in it that is not in the original release. So there you go. That is in a unique version. And then this one, I mean, maybe it's not in a unique version, but it is a unique style. And that is the Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City Dual Pack, which honestly cost less than buying the games separately back when I bought the games separately. But yeah, essentially this just has both games in here. And the manual is just a combined manual for both Batman Arkham Asylum and City. I believe City is like on the reverse side there. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Found out about this through I was just scrolling through the different things that this eBay seller had, and they had the dual pack for Batman Arkham Asylum City. And I said, oh, that's kind of unique. I'll get that. So if you might have guessed, the last version of the Arkham games that I need is the PS Vita version of Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. That is the last unique Batman game that I need, or the unique version of these Arkham Asylum games that I need, and then I will have every single one. So pretty crazy. I'll probably show all those off at some point down the road. Two more eBay things. First up, well, I guess not first up anymore. The Journey Collector's Edition. This is something that I've been eyeballing for a while, and I recently played Sword of the Sea, and I was like, you know what? I gotta grab this. I love Journey, and I really enjoyed Flower when I played that. I don't think I've played Flow, and if I have played Flow, it's probably been too long for me to remember. But yeah, this is a 3-in-1. I believe they're all on the disc. There's no like download or anything like that. But yeah, pretty cool. There's also a nice Journey like reversible cover in there, so it's not the split one. It's just Journey. But I like the split one because it's all 3 games. And then I decided to do this. I told myself I wouldn't, but it was like $5, and I was like, you know what? It's being delisted, so whatever. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on PS4. The PS5 version is not being delisted, but the PS4 version is. This is a collection update. This is not going to retain value. This is probably going to even decrease in value because it's an empty disc. It's literally just a fucking empty disc, but it's being delisted. So maybe, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. And then I have one limited run game and one super rare game. The super rare game is The Pedestrian. Physically, I have not opened this one yet. This was a game when they announced that they were doing a physical version of it. I said, yeah, I kind of want that because I really like this quirky little game. You play as like a guy running across signs and you do some puzzles and stuff like that. So that was cool. It came with a super rare sticker. I'm pretty sure there's something else packaged in here, maybe some trading cards and like that. I really like super rare because the games you purchase them and like 2 months later they're at your door, as opposed to Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles, which they did not ship for a whole year. And the game got scathing reviews, being one of the worst remasters that have come out recently. That's okay, though, because Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles is a game of all time, okay? So, yeah, limited run games, they do retain value. So even if I don't want to play this, it at least have value. It also has like I do have some sentimental value towards this because the Star Wars Episode 1 era of video games, specifically the Star Wars Episode 1 era games that were on the N64, was pretty much like the beginning of my video game career next to Metal Slug and Banjo-Kazooie and Mario 64, Diddy Kong Racing. And then, next up was Episode 1 Racer, Pod Racer. And then I got Battle for Naboo, and then from there it went on. So pivotal part of my gaming career is the Episode 1 just games that they shoved out into the universe, and I'm gonna you know me, I'm trying to justify this purchase. It's gonna retain value. That's the main justification. Even though I don't intend to sell any of my games, it does retain its value at least. So there you go, Jedi Power Battles. Okay, and that's it. That's all I got this past week or month. Past month. Let's go ahead and move on to what have I been playing this past week. All right, for the month of September. It was a pretty light month, all things considered, compared to the other months that we've had here. But I am starting to tone down my collecting as we go into the months of the holidays to save a little bit of money for, gifts for people. But at the same time, I still need to get gifts for myself throughout the year, right? So here we got a couple of things here to look at. Starting off with a game you probably already guessed, Borderlands 4, brand new release here. Y'all knew I was getting this. There was no reason not to in my eyes. I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast if you want to check out those episodes. The game is in my console right now. I would have more new releases, but Dying Light the Beast did not have a physical release. Chronos, the New Dawn, the physical release was delayed, and I didn't feel like waiting for it, so I just bought it digitally. And then Hollow Knight was also just a digital release. So this is the only brand new game that has come out recently that I've gotten physically. So kind of feels weird, but at the same time, there it is, Borderlands 4. I made the mistake of eating spicy chips before recording today, so I apologize about that. First up, we got some new old games, right? Some games that are, these are all limited run, so there you go. Doom plus Doom 2. I bought this, I think this was a year ago that they had the pre-orders for this available. I wanted to pick this up because I thought it was a fun little collection. There it is. Complaining moment. The disc arrived loose in the case, and I had to do my little fix to get it back into place, and I just pushed it back out. So many of these limited run games, including another one that's in this pile, this happens where I get them and they are loose in the case, and it's like for a distributor of limited media, that's just unacceptable in my opinion. Like, these things are shipped in these bubble wrapped, sealed things. The disc should not be popping out in them, in my opinion. But yet, you get your disc, and it's just loose. It's just absolutely loose. And it's like this is one that I'm probably not going to open, at least not anytime soon, because I already own at least Doom 1 on a different platform. And also I believe you can play Doom 2 on the Xbox Game Pass at this moment. So it's just one of those things that it's very annoying. I don't think that there will be any I don't think there'll be any stop to this because quality control obviously is out the window nowadays, but there you go. Doom 2 with a loose disc. My favorite thing ever. Also from Limited Run, we got Potato Sack Racing Simulator 2024 Physical Mega Chad Edition. So you might be wondering, what the fuck is this? And I was wondering the same thing about a year ago when this popped up in my feed on the PlayStation. And I knew that it was like a really... I wouldn't say it's like a shitty game, but I knew it was kind of like one of those goofy, trolly kind of games, right? And when they announced that they were doing a physical edition of this, I said, you know what? I just can't pass that up. I want this to be in my collection. It'll be a talking point. I'll probably buy it digitally because I think it's like only $10 digitally. Probably buy it digitally to play it. But having the physical here, I couldn't pass it up. I'm sorry. And then last from Limited Run Games, we have Gradius Origins. This is the collection of Gradius games, plus they added a new one. I felt like this was a pretty easy choice for me to pick up. Just a lot of cool things here. If you like shmups, Gradius is obviously one of the better shmups in the game. Yeah, we have that right there. Gradius Origins. Now we have some... just some older games here. Some of them are sealed, some of them are not. First up is Rock Band 3 on the Nintendo DS. I played the PSP version of Rock Band not too long ago, which I loved a lot. So I was like, you know what? I'll get the DS version of Rock Band 3. We'll see how that goes. It's a very, there's a really large manual in here, I think, because this thing is, bulging outward with what's inside. So I am excited to try that out. I'm still playing Steel Diver, so this will probably be the next one up when I'm done with that. Also, this is actually our first game for the Halloween season, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game, and this edition included the DLC from Outer Space. I have not opened it yet because I'm waiting to play it on stream, but that is soon. If you're listening and or watching this on the day that it's uploaded, actually the same day on September 29th, we are starting our Halloween streams, and the whole background will be changed. But as of right now, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, that'll be our first game. Also, I think I posted this in the Discord, but John Wick Hex, which is a game that was delisted, I guess they found extra copies of the game in a Amazon warehouse or something like that. So you had physical copies of John Wick Hex out in the wild for $20 or so, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick that up because on eBay the only available copy of this game was $4,000, which is obviously I'm not gonna pay that. But now those people who were trying to rip others off, well, there you go. I got this for $20. Nana nana boo boo. Stick your face in doo-doo. And then finally for today, I decided to pick this game up because I don't know where my copy of it went. I think I had a PS4 copy that I sold back in the day. But DMC, Devil May Cry, this is the reboot of the Devil May Cry series that obviously only lasted for one game. It was fairly cheap on eBay, and I said, you know what? I have every other of the Devil May Cry games physically, whether it be for collections or actual games. So I said, you know what, let's just get DMC just to finish it out. Eventually, I am planning on playing the Devil May Cry series on stream. It was a idea for a monthly thing, a themed month, a couple years ago now. But I've decided to put that on hold for now for various reasons. But we did get DMC. Eventually, it will be played. And that's it for this week, folks. I still want to accidentally say week from time to time. So what have I picked up this past month? We got a couple of new games here to start off with. The first one being Battlefield 6. Picked that up physically. I was a little bit disappointed that the disc did not have the entire game on it. You had to download and update a lot of it, and they did just do another update with that new Battle Royale mode. So yeah, the disc isn't really as cool as I was hoping it would be, but still enjoying the game. We also have Once Upon a Katamari. I was playing this one pretty much last week. I was playing this one. I got a bit sidetracked trying to finish other things, which I will talk about today. But Once Upon a Katamari, I knew I had to get this physically. I have all my other Katamari games physically, so this was a easy no-brainer. One of the first games that came out this month, Ghost of Yote. This one is back in the box right now. I have, of course, been playing other things, but I am still playing through this and still having a good time with it for sure. Ghost of Yote. Gex Trilogy. This is the latest limited run game, and this was one that I knew that I had to pick up as soon as it was available to pre-order. I have the original Gex game, but the disc doesn't work. It's a PS1 game, I'm pretty sure, and the disc didn't work. So I was like, I guess I'll buy another disc. But then they announced this, and I was like, oh, guess I don't have to do that anymore. And then finally, for the new games this week, another Crab's Treasure Day 1 Edition. This is the physical version of another Crab's Treasure. Now, I know this is not technically a new game. It came out digitally last year, but this is the physical print for the game, which I knew I had to pick up. And whether or not I open it ever is up for debate. It may just stay wrapped its entire life, but you know me, I like to support the developers, and when they do stuff like this, put a full game out on disc or a game out that was digital, I like to try and support them as best as I can. So, another Crab's Treasure on disc for the PS5. Now we have some new, older games that I picked up. As I talked about last week, we played A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. I actually recently picked it up on Amazon for like $10, and as I said in my scathing review, yeah, not really worth the price tag, actually. Maybe if you're a super fan of Quiet Place, but, you know, whatever. But yeah, I picked this up physically, add that to my collection. I don't have a lot of games starting with A, so that'll be good. Oh, look at that. Another game starting with A. Art of the Rally. I ordered this game and another one that I'll show off next from VGP a while ago when they were on sale for like $10 each. And I totally forgot that I ordered it, and now I have Art of Rally in my collection. Gripping goodies inside. That's what the sticker says on the front. I'm not sure exactly what's in here, but yeah, Art of the Rally. Never played that one. And then this is a game that I actually was thinking of buying on Steam, but then I saw that it was on sale. This is Crypt Custodian. This is another game that I bought with Art of Rally, and I totally forgot that I ordered these games. I mean, I must have ordered them a few months ago at this point, but this is a cute little game where you kind of play as a janitor cleaning up a dungeon after a player has gone through, which, you know, sounds kind of fun. So Crypt Custodian, there it is. And then this month, we only have two older games that I picked up. I bought both of these at a local video game shop. The first one is Die Hard Trilogy. This is all three of the Die Hard games made into a video game. I'm pretty sure there's three different versions of a game here. So the original Die Hard is like a third-person shooter. The second game is a rail shooter. And the third game seems to be a bit more of like a car chase or something like that. But this is one of those games that I was thinking of picking up for a while, but the price wasn't right. But now it was like $12. So I said, all right, we'll pick that up. And then finally, the Piece La Resistance. Duke Nukem Forever on the Xbox 360. I had this game a while ago on the PS3. I obviously sold it. But I wanted to pick it up again because Callus said, oh, that game is so bad. Who would ever want to play this game? And I said, me. I would want to play this one. I don't remember it being that bad, in all honesty, but no, it has been a while. But yeah, I just wanted to pick this up because, you know, this game is really cheap too. There's not really that much interest in picking this one up. I remember when this game was like $5 at GameStop one time. That's actually when I picked it up originally. But yeah, here you go. Duke Nukem Forever. Cool. All right, we're going to start off with my new pickups this past month. And this one, they accidentally put the sticker that has your name on it for pickup. They accidentally put it like halfway on the plastic wrap and like it was kind of torn, so like halfway on the game itself. So I had to kind of get some stickiness off of there. But most recently, I reviewed this last week. SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide. There it is. I own all of these SpongeBob games physically, and as I said last week, they do seem to be getting better and better with each entry. With this most recent one being a very fun platformer. I saw recently a review on like IGN that was like, maybe it wasn't on IGN, maybe it was Push Square. I don't remember, but they were like, "Oh, it's the same platforming formula." It really isn't. I mean, I guess like the basics of like jumping are the same, but it is a bit of a different experience. So cool. I like that. I like this, and that's all that matters. Okay, SpongeBob Titans of the Tide. There you go. This is a game that I picked up last month, but I forgot to show off because all my Switch 2 stuff is downstairs. That's Pokemon ZA. It's Pokemon ZA, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. There's a nice little map of the city in there. I haven't finished this one yet. I'm going to try and finish it before the year is up because it's pretty fun. Next up is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. And I liked the case for this one. I liked the cover for it. But on the inside is blank. It's literally nothing on the inside. Which I was just kind of like, I opened up the case and I'm like, damn, that's kind of brutal in my opinion. So yeah, there you go. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. Kirby Air Riders. This, of course, came out this past week a couple weeks now. And I talked about this one last week, and I will finish up my thoughts on it this episode. But there you go. That's all that's included in Kirby Air Riders. And then here is my surprise. Now, if you don't want to be spoiled, well, you probably already saw the title of the episode. I did end up getting Madden NFL 26, EA Sports Madden NFL 26 for the Nintendo Switch 2. This was something that I joked about doing, and you know what? I finally went through with it because it was on sale for Black Friday, and I said, you know what? That would be a fun little thing. So this is actually the first Game Key card game that I've purchased. Probably won't be the last, honestly, because there is maybe another game or so that I'll pick up like this. But yeah, Madden 26. I will talk about this game and the Switch 2 version in particular throughout the rest of this episode. Let's move on to some games that are new but older. This one is a limited run release that I knew I had to pick up. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the game, I just feel like this was a long time coming. And that is Octodad Dadliest Catch, physical edition on the Switch. Still sealed, of course. Probably will remain that way for the rest of its life because I've already played this a couple times on Steam. And in my most recent playthrough, I finished the game for the first time, and I was kind of like indifferent about it. I was like, it's fine, but I also like don't really enjoy it. But Octodad Dadliest Catch, there we go. This is a game that I already own on PlayStation digitally, but it was on sale for $10 Black Friday, and that is Crash Team Rumble. This is the Deluxe Cross-Gen Edition, which I don't really know what that means, but I don't even know if this game is still alive technically online. It's actually been since the game came out. I think like I played it for about a week, and I said, well, there you go. That's that. But you know, I've been wanting to collect all the Crash games. I have pretty much all of them physically, except for I think I still have to buy Crash 4 physically because I have that digitally. But at the end of the day, though, Crash Team Rumble, there it is. It was pretty cheap. And then finally, let's get into some older games that I picked up at my local used store and or eBay. First up, I bought this because I thought my disc for Black Ops 2 was not working, but I picked up Black Ops 2 physically for PS3 on its own. So I have a combo pack, and I have just a regular version of the game. Turned out to actually be a problem with the PS3. Well, I guess more so with the PS4, because if you can you can change your name, and that causes the game to crash when it's trying to load in your profile. So yeah, Black Ops 2, there it is. I'm actually okay with just having a physical version of this game because I like Black Ops 2 a lot. I think it's a great first-person shooter. As one of my friends on Discord would say, I love military propaganda, and we'll see that next month. Not that next month, but you know what I mean. Next up is a game that I was actually watching someone play online on a video, and it looked kind of fun, and that was Madagascar Carts. This one was only like a $10 game, and I don't own a lot of racing games because a lot of racing games are kind of like one and done for me. But Madagascar Carts, there it is, with King Julian. Yes. And I believe Bob is in this too. There's a couple like secret characters. Yeah. Then finally for today we have a Wii U game, and that is Super Mario Maker on the Wii U. This is a pretty classic game. I mean, just the antithesis of everything that Mario or 2D Mario is and all that stuff coming down here. I believe it's missing the manual because all I have here is the like warning handbook or whatever. So I'm pretty sure it's missing the full manual, so I'll have to pick that up eventually. But it was a nice copy of the game, and I owned this one back in the day. I like getting games that I owned back in the day that I sold, and this was one of the ones I sold next to Star Fox Zero. And I had a lot of fun with this. I remember when back on my old YouTube channel, I put this at like number 5 on my top 10 games list that year, and it works so much better than Super Mario Maker 2. I feel like with the touchscreen controls and the Wii U and all that stuff. So this is actually a rare game that I would say is better on the Wii U simply because it has the stylus and touchscreen functionality that the Switch 2 has, but I just feel like it feels so much better on the Wii U. So there you go. Super Mario Maker rounds out the what have I picked up this past week section. All right. So I have some games here. Some of them are new. Some of them are older, but I bought them for the first time. And we have some games that I streamed this past month that I have physical copies of. We're going to start with the games that I streamed this past month that I did not. Now, there is a caveat here. I have not been showing off games that I streamed that I already showed off on this part of the show. So if you go, oh, you didn't show off Advanced Warfare, that's because I already showed off Advanced Warfare earlier this year or in one of the other past showing off videos. So we're going to start off with the games that I streamed this month. Now, obviously, Call of December is over, but we did stream Call of Duty Ghosts. This is the PS4 upgradable version, and I am missing the disc. I don't know what happened to the disc. I have no clue. The other half doesn't know. I checked all of my consoles, and it just was not there. So Call of Duty Ghosts, I don't have the disc, but I do have the case. And I did use the code for Call of Duty Ghosts to be playable on the PS4, which is how we played it digitally on the PS5. But there you go, Call of Duty Ghosts. Next up, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, or MW3. Ooh, This is my original copy from back in the day. I bought an Xbox 360 version and a PS3 version. The Xbox 360 version was sold, but I kept the Modern Warfare 3 version. I talked about this game last episode, so if you want my thoughts on that, there you go. Next up, the final game that I have physically that we streamed this past week that was unique, or this past month that was unique, Call of Duty Vanguard. This one sucked donkey balls, but it wasn't as bad as some of the games that we're going to talk about today. But there you go. I have this game physically in my collection. Oh, boy. All right, we have some new games here. Some new games that either I bought or were given to me for Christmas. The first one is the scathing review that I gave it, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Of course, I bought this physically on the Nintendo Switch 2. After this, I will be putting it on my shelf, and I most likely will not think of it again. But Metroid Prime 4, there you go, physically right there. This is one that I'm planning on playing on the stream soon. That is Yuka Replay. I finally got the physical edition. It was a bit of a staggered release. They did the digital and now the physical version. But apparently this game is 100% fixed, and I'm very excited to try it out again because I did try to play it again, a couple of months ago, or actually it was probably last year, right, for a Bunger month. I think someone suggested it. And I just really couldn't get into it. But hopefully with this version of the game, the remastered or remade version, we can get into it and enjoy it. So I'm actually pretty excited to crack this open and play that this coming year. Or, well, this year. Also, another game that I'm planning on streaming some of these titles on the channel. The physical version of Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection came out. This includes a bunch of games from the classic collection of Mortal Kombat experiences. This is also available digitally. It's been available digitally for quite some time. But the physical version, I got this directly from Atari. So that's pretty cool. And there's the logo right there, Atari. But doesn't feel like there's much to this. Might just be a game inside the case. I don't know, but it has a slipcover. You know me, I kind of don't like slipcovers, but I keep them on because they are a part of the whole case as a whole. And then here was the game that was gifted to me for Christmas from my Secret Santa, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which I will talk about later in this episode. It was actually a pretty fun time unboxing this because there's a poster in here, which is a pretty nice poster, and then there's free DLC for the Sonic the Werehog, which is actually pretty fun skin. But yeah, there you go, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds right there. All right. Now I have some older games that I bought to add to the collection here. We're going to start off with some Switch games, which I bought from a buy two, get one free at GameStop. So I bought these online. I wasn't in the store, and I definitely would not have picked up these games if I knew that they were in this condition. But at least the cartridges are in here, so that's fine. First up, we have Rock of Ages 3, Make and Break. This is the third of the Rock of Ages games that I have not played. And, like I said, at least it has everything inside of it. Has the game in there. But the case is worse for wear. There's, like, scratch marks and stuff on the front here. So, not my favorite thing ever. And, of course, if you buy something from GameStop online, you never know if it's going to come into a case or not, in a real case or not. So I officially have two GameStop cases that are going to go on my shelf. One is for Fast and Furious Spy Racers. Ooh, boy. You got to love it, folks. You got to love it. I freaking hate that this is like this, but it is what it is. So, there's that. And then also, I bought both of these games for, like, future meme games to play on the channel. The next one is JoJo Siwa Worldwide Party. And once again, it's in a stupid-ass, GameStop case. And it doesn't even have, like, any inserts in it, but the game is in there. So either I'll find the real cases for these, or I'll just forget about it. But I always have trepidations when buying from GameStop online, and this is a big one. Not getting an actual case is a bit of a doo-doo feces scenario. I'm going to turn on some background music so that my headset doesn't shut off during stream. I'll be able to edit it out of the final product. All right, I have some games that I got from... Well, actually, I have one game I got from eBay, and this is Paper Mario Sticker Star on the 3DS. This is the last Paper Mario game that I needed to get to finish off the collection of Paper Mario games, minus the original one that is on the N64. The manual is in worse for wear condition, but the rest of it is very nice. So, Paper Mario Sticker Star on the 3DS. These next two games I got from a local library sale for about $1 each. The first one is a Wii U game, Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge. Ooh, Ninja Gaiden 3 on the Wii U. Probably a fantastic experience. And then the other game that I picked up, which was going to be a game I played during Call of December if it got to that, was the Wii version of Black Ops. That's right. Complete with woods on the back. So eventually down the road, we'll probably play this just because the Wii version of Call of Duty games is just so funny. You know, it's just so funny to play them. They're like these really downgraded visually style games, and sometimes they're missing missions. Yeah, just a funny little thing there. Call of Duty on the Wii. This one was only $125. And then finally, this was a Christmas gift for my other half. Or actually, no, it was a birthday gift for my other half, but I'm going to add it to my collection because she's done playing it. She said it was a pretty bad game. That's Ford Mustang The Legend Lives, the racing game. Apparently, it was pretty bad, so it's probably just going to go on my shelf for the rest of its life. But there you go. Ford Mustang Racing. And that is it for the games that I got this month. And like I said, there will be a complete video for all of the pickups from 2025 coming out probably next week.